to answer your question, according to my mother, because I don't remember a lot from like being a baby, when I was a kid, apparently I stressed my mom that I wanted to start school when I was 2. So every day I would go to her, I want to go to school, I want to go to school, I want to go to school. So eventually they were so tired of me being like, I want to go to school. And they just like, go enroll this child in school. So they enrolled me in school and I did so well that I actually got promoted from kindergarten to like nursery 2 or nursery 1. It was so funny because I was just doing so well. I think part of that is twofold. One, obviously, it's probably like a natural proclivity for things like my dad, is an engineer, my mom's a nurse, and I feel like we grew up in an academic home. But also my siblings, I feel like part of it might just have been wanting to belong. Like they were always going to school and I was just stuck at home. So I just wanted to be part of like the clique. I think too, that's probably what my brain was doing. But after that though, I really just loved school. So much that I even had to like surrender it to God. Like, God, this is like an idol in my life. Like I just absolutely love school, which is so weird for like a child.
Yep.
But my mom used to say that when I was a child, like she would have to force me to stop doing my homework to eat. So she'll be like, "Peace, stop doing your homework, come eat." And I'll be so frustrated. Like, can I just do my homework and you leave me alone in peace? This part is not great and I'm probably embarrassing myself, but one of my, how people talk about like their traumatic memories. For some people, it's like, my parents flogged me one day, that this. For me, I remember so clearly, there was a day my mom punished me and I was in like SS2. She took away my homework. And I never forgave my mom for that. I was so pissed. I reminded her when
Can you imagine she took away your homework? Are you joking?
It's actually funny, like it's so embarrassing, but like it actually hurt me so much. I reminded her when I graduated college, I was like, I have this memory that you did this to me. And she was like, what?
like serious?
It was so dumb.
That's every child's dream. You took away my homework. Wow. Thank you, mommy.
I was so hurt. I remember that because like it was math. I really loved math. So like when I took the SAT to come to America, I had a perfect math score, and it was negative marking back then. But I really loved math, and I remember doing math, and I woke up in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I was doing my homework. And my mom had told me to like do some chores, and I didn't do the chores. So she went to check on the chores, and I was awake at 2 a.m. doing my homework, and she was like, "You didn't do the chores, and you're doing your homework. Bring your homework. You're not going to do your homework." And I was devastated. I was like,
how do you punish a child for doing their homework? So you see that punishment really is relative.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you, because you take away a child's iPad to punish the child. You tell the child you won't play. They took away your homework. Your maths homework.
Yes.
As punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. That doesn't happen in every home.
It is actually quite hilarious thinking about it now. Like, obviously I have a brother perspective of other people's lives, and I'm like, yeah, this was kind of weird. My parents were probably like, what kind of child is this?
I can imagine. But so entering secondary school now, young age, how did you even navigate that space? That's really what I wanted you to drive on.
Well, I would say like trying to pick my words carefully, but you call it what it is, time and chance. I believe like time and chance, the Bible says, God orchestrates it. And that definitely happened to me. I really loved my secondary school. So just for context, a lot of people don't know this, but after I took the common entrance, I did really well that the government wanted me to go to a gifted school for children. I think I had the best score in my local government. And my parents were like, oh no, she's too young. We don't want her to leave the house. So I wrote a bunch of these extra like entrance exams, but I don't know what happened, whether my parents forgot or whatever. And this is like might be too much information to share online, but I didn't start school on time because we missed the deadline for all my schools to like sign up for me to go to secondary school. So I have this memory of my mom just talking to my second brother, IK, and she's like, IK, just walk. And there's some new schools here, go there, find out a school that's gonna take peace in. So like I was really uncertain. Like I was just sitting home. School had started. It was like 2 weeks in. My brother and I were just walking. Showed up at like Starfield at the time. It was a very new school. We walked in. We're trying to find the director, and we're like, my sister needs to start a school. And the guy's like, classes have started. So I'm like starting so anxious and so nervous, like sort of like out of place. And he was like, okay, well, are you able to take the entrance exam right now? And I was like, yeah, for sure. I can take it right now. So he gave me the entrance exam. I took it on the spot. I did like so well. He was shocked. He was like, what? They scored everything. He was like, yeah, you can start school. So they were like, you can start school. I think whether it was the next day or like the next week, I don't remember. I went home. I was like, yeah, I have admission. I can start school. So I started classes, and my school was a school that kind of like divided you based on your ability, so that for the sake of pacing. So teachers are not like pacing too fast ahead for some students or pacing too slow. And I remember walking into class that day, and so my class was the A class. So people like will have like a high pace, and all the students were like, this class is full. Oh my gosh, like you can't join. And I just looked at them like, the director said I should come in here. But like they already started session. They knew that they're in the A class, whatever. So I went in and like put my bag down and just sat there. I had to like copy notes because I missed a bunch of like classes. But yeah, so it was an adjustment. I think for me, and this has been true all my life, where like if I'm comfortable within myself, I'm comfortable within myself. So for me, school is a comfort zone. So regardless of all the drama that was going on around me, I was just like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just gonna do my thing, you do your thing, wonderful. So that's kind of like how I would say and handle that. Yes, there were negative experiences. Like for example, I felt like excluded when the girl said that. And when I was younger, I struggled with dealing with negative emotions. So I used to repress my emotions a lot, which is probably not a great idea. But it got me through like high school, secondary school. I just like pushed it down. Like we're not thinking about this really bad. I had to like sort through all those as an adult. But yeah, I think like, yeah, I just like focused on my strengths. And I had the favor of teachers after a while because, teachers recognize that you're doing really well in class. So I just like balanced myself and the friends that like I was able to like make. And I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question, but...
See, I'm fine with that. Because it was recently I found out that I'm saying Starfield because we're not saying anything negative about them.
Yeah.
That they had these A class, different class to pace people.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic idea because at the same time, it's also good that children engage in competitions and all that. But I really think it was a fantastic idea. Or it is a fantastic idea. I don't know if they still do that. Where a child, when you know that these children are A students, you put them together, and like that, just so that there's no, everybody, the teachers too can follow the pace of the students and care for them within their states.
Starfield was, honestly, I would never say anything bad about Starfield. Starfield was honestly a gift from God for
Minus
me.
the fact that they've not paid you royalty. Continue.
It was a gift from God for me because like they also had this huge emphasis on math. So like I was able to like take all the math I wanted in my lifetime. Like we used to have 7 a.m. math classes like in like year 7 through 9. So like it was 9 through 12. Oh my gosh, like living in America for so long, I'm forgetting SS2, SS3. I'm so embarrassed, sorry. Don't take away my Nigerian card. But like SS2, SS3, SS1, like we used to have like 7 a.m. math classes. So it really just played a lot to my strengths in general, the way the school was set up. And the competitiveness for me, even though at the time it was stressful, like I used to have guys say, I know back then people were weird. So guys would say things like, oh, I remember literally walking into a session where there were guys sitting down and the guys were literally saying, how can you allow peace to beat you in class? She's a girl. And I was just like, what? And I was just like, okay, this is so
But
interesting.
you know that we grew up in that kind of toxic era.
Yes.
It's getting better now, but when you come home with your report card and maybe you're even second or third and you are asked who took first, and you say it's one girl and it's a problem.
Yeah.
So I think that spilled off to even your own time.
It did. So there was all of those sort of like negative energy around. But I will say two of the guys I used to compete so hard with, like there's this guy and I'll call out his name, Ikena. Like if I get it's 7.3, Ikena is like it's 7.1 or something that crazy. Or like I beat him because I did better in Yoruba and wasn't strong in Yoruba. So like we were so neck and neck and Adeolu, and we're still so close till today because we used to like compete like hardcore, but I also learned the value of like healthy competition, because when I came to college and some competitions were not healthy, I was like, I don't understand. Like these boys and I were like so hardcore competitive, but like we were tight, like we're really good friends to each other. So like I really appreciated that. But even one time I spoke to one of the guys, I will not mention their name, but it was like, peace, there was a time I used to think you were a witch, because I was like, how is this girl good at this thing? And I was like, I don't understand. So you didn't think you were a wizard, but you thought I was a witch, because it was like, I know it's so stupid now, but like I used to think that when I was in school. So like that was a dynamic one had to like navigate. But in all of it, Starfield really taught me the value of like I'm gonna say this word wrong, camaraderie. You know the word I'm talking about, where like people just collaborate.
I don't know.
Like the value of just like having people support each other. Like even as the only girl, I remember being the only girl taking technical drawing, like, and all the girls in my class will stand outside during exam, like rooting for me. They're like, she got this, and I'm like, thank you. They're like, go and beat them. So it was just such a healthy, super intense environment, but very healthy. And I think like it's trickled down from the director. The director was just an amazing human being. He knew all our names, he knew our parents, he knew so much about us. And it was so shocking, like, how does this man know the name of like all these many students? But he really cared about like the value of our education. And
Staffy, this is where you sponsor the video.
Yes, Starfield, like seriously, I'm very blessed, and I'm very thankful and very blessed that I got to go there.